How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcons Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw review video for today. This time for this new episode for this series, this is going to be my review on the 2022 crime comedy film, and this is the third entry to the series, and that is Confess Fletch. This is directed by Greg Mottola, the man behind Superbad, Adventureland, and Paul, and this is the first time in the Fletch series to not star Chevy Chase, which he starred in the two previous movies, which were Fletch and Fletch Lives. This time, Fletch is portrayed by Jon Hamm, where he's basically investigating a case where he's basically trying to find valuable stolen paintings, but he soon starts to become a prime suspect in the new case, which involves a murder, because he witnesses a murder scene, and the police point out to Fletch that he is the prime suspect. And so basically, for Fletch to prove his innocence, he basically has to investigate these four characters. He's trying to find out if they are the real culprits behind this whole murder that he's been framed for, which consists an art dealer, to a missing playboy, to a crazy neighbor, and even his own girlfriend. So that's pretty much the story of Confess Fletch. Now, I did watch both Fletch movies for in preparation for this, and when it comes to the first Fletch film that came out in '85, starring Chevy Chase, I enjoyed that one. I thought that was a pretty entertaining comedy film, and one of Chevy Chase's most entertaining films since the Vacation films. And for the second movie, Fletch Lives, I thought that one was okay. It's definitely not as good as the first one whatsoever. And so when I heard there was a new Fletch movie coming out, I didn't really expect another Fletch film or anything like that, because for me, this one kind of just popped out of nowhere for me. Like, I didn't hear any announcements at first or anything like that. And I never saw the trailers when they first dropped by. The trailers just kind of popped out of nowhere for me it was back when I was in the cinema seeing something, and like I said, the trailer just popped out of nowhere. And when I saw the trailer for this movie, I didn't know what to expect from it. I wasn't expecting this to be terrible, because it didn't look terrible to me. To me, it just looked like one of those movies that would look either okay or just decent or anything like that. But this one did look a little bit interesting to me, because you've got a talented cast in the film, such as Jon Hamm from Baby Driver and Top Gun Maverick, his most recent film that came out this year. You also have Oscar winner Marcia Gay Harden, which I think she's a really good actress. You also have Mottola. She's a pretty funny actress, as well as Lucy Punch, who's also in the movie too. And you also have John Slattery as well, which I also think he's pretty entertaining as well. And you also have MacLachlan as well from Twin Peaks, which I think he's a talented yet good actor. And the director of this film, who, like I said, for the director of this film, like I said, this was directed by Greg Mottola, who made Superbad, which I can agree with everyone is one of the funniest teen comedies of the last few decades. And he also did Adventureland as well, which that was also pretty funny one as well. And he also did Paul, which I still have yet to see because I've never seen it before. And so after I watched both Fletch movies from preparation for this, I went to see this just a couple of days after it was released. And unfortunately for my screening, it really wasn't much of a full house though. But there was just a little amount of people in my screening though. But after watching this whole thing, I surprisingly had a great time with this. This was actually a pretty entertaining watch here from beginning to end. Well, I don't have a whole lot to say about Confess Fletch, but there's a few things to dig out of this movie, like Jon Hamm in this film, for his portrayal of Fletch, he did a pretty good job on capturing some of the essence of what Chevy Chase did in the original two films, for being, a charming, yet goofy, yet idiotic character. And for Jon Hamm to show his comedic side to any character he plays for a comedy film, he did a pretty good job, and I'd like to see him doing some more comedy films in the future, because like I said, he was pretty funny in the movie. And as for everyone else in the film, like I said, you got Marcia Gay Harden, MacLachlan, Mottola, Lucy Punch, and John Slattery. They were pretty entertaining for their characters. And you've got MacLachlan, who plays this germaphobe. He did a pretty good job. Mottola, who plays this stoner crazy neighbor who cooks really terrible. Like she cooks disaster and stuff like that. She was pretty funny. And Lucy Punch was pretty funny too. And Marcia Gay Harden, who plays Fletch's girlfriend's mom in the film, she was pretty good in the film, and her acting was pretty funny. And for the comedy of the film, it is pretty strong for having, wacky hijinks and all of that. There are some pretty funny moments with that. And there are some funny lines of dialogue here and there, which I would say are pretty funny. But I wouldn't say they're extremely laugh out loud, like you would laugh so hard, one of your lungs would burst out of your chest and you would die. It's not like that. I just found most of those moments pretty strong. And just overall, none of them did feel kind of flat while I was watching this whole movie from beginning to end, because I did find most of them pretty entertaining while I was watching this movie. And for its story, since this movie is pretty much a murder mystery story, I did felt it was pretty predictable for like where I was going and all of that, even towards the final act of the film, which when it gets to its climax, when it reveals the suspect, I didn't find it really that shocking or anything like that. I just obviously knew like who was gonna be the suspect behind the whole murder or anything like that. But in the end, guys, Confess Fletch, like I said, this was overall an entertaining watch, yeah. And I can say it's probably better than the last Fletch film, but I don't know if I like it much better than the first film. But also I would also say this it's definitely not one of my favorite comedies of this year, but this still is an entertaining watch. And if you're a fan of both of the Fletch movies, or you're a fan of the books, or you're a fan of the cast, you may have a good time with this one. And if you miss a chance to see this in cinemas, it is available to stream on any app of your choice. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Confess Fletch. I'm gonna give Confess Fletch 4 out of 5. Despite having a few nitpicks with this one, I still managed to have an entertaining time with this one. And like I said, I don't think this is one of my favorite comedies of this year, but this still is an entertaining watch here from beginning to end. And like I said, if you're a fan of both of the Fletch movies, you may have a good time with this one as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my ACAF for a story review on Confess Fletch, and let me know what you think of this movie. If you have seen this already, if you just recently checked out this movie, did you have a really good time with this, or was this not really a cup of tea? And also, I also like to know, what is your favorite Fletch movie of the series? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.